Hi and welcome to today's episode of AdCreative AI Talks with Tufan
Hello.
and me, Anna. Today we're going to cover everything you need to know about version 7 and we're going to dive right in and start talking about the storytelling feature.
Yes, storytelling adds AI. So honestly, that's the feature that I'm the most excited about because that's the feature that literally you give a website URL, it takes that and it gives you ready to use like storytelling ads. So where the name comes from is that what we realize is the videos that actually has some kind of story inside. Like for example, if it is, I don't know, some kind of, let's say, muscle building equipment, what it says that, hey, would you like to look better or blah, blah, etc. So it's going to build the problem, then agitate it, and then there's a lot of these copywriting frameworks. So basically this feature takes your URL and then writes this copywriting video script, then takes that and then do a voiceover from that text, and then goes and for each one of those texts, it makes a background image generation and then brings them all together and you see a beautiful up to 1 minute video that is like there to bring you results. So storytelling ads is super exciting because again, as a user, you do nothing more than just giving your website URL and it creates these killer videos in a matter of seconds and you just download the ones you like. And that's going to be the first feature of AdCreative V7. Yeah, super
I think
exciting.
that's very smart move that AdCreative AI does very well is that we have the same kind of workflow through all of our features.
So when you know one, you know them all. Yeah,
yes, exactly. So if you are a user right now, it's as simple using all of them, just like when we launch a new one. And I think that makes the experience very seamless into new features as well.
And there's one thing that I was kind of excited to see, which is not what we planned. But we've seen that when we first launched as beta and got a couple of users, I've seen that people have generated like YouTube shorts, Instagram Reels, etc. That is, some of them are not even ads, more of just like storytelling about what they did. So that's super cool. I would not be surprised that some people goes ahead and use this feature to publish YouTube channels and like even generate revenue through that. I think there's a lot of opportunities with this feature. We built it for ads, but just like many other products, like regardless what you build for, some other people are going to use it for different cases. And I think in our case, it's super exciting because, you know, it opens a lot of doors for a lot of different people for whatever use case that they have.
Yeah, for sure. And you also mentioned a little bit about the text in there. Isn't the Ad LLM that we talked about in the previous, I think it's the last episode or maybe the episode before that, involved in this one as well?
Yeah. So, from now on, especially I think in 2 weeks ago, what we've done is that from now on, whenever we generate a text, it uses AdLLM behind.
Yep.
And AdLLM, for those ones who missed the last episode, is that we took a large language model and we trained it with, I think the first training data set was 840 million high conversion rate ad texts, which basically teaches a large language model what kind of texts perform well and what kind of ads are not performing well. And that's super important because, again, there's nothing bad to say about ChatGPT. That's great, but that's great if you're gonna ask some stuff that is in its data set, like how to cook X, Y, Z, or how to do that. But when you ask what kind of ads do I need to write or create to get good results, it has no data set. It has no absolutely answer to that. The best thing it can do is just guess, just like anyone on the street that would guess, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So what we've done with LLM is that, okay, how can we create the world's first large language model trained with advertising data? And that LLM is also the same large language model that writes the scripts for the storytelling ads. And I think, as your point, that makes it also even more strong because the core large language model know what works on the market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And once again, that's kind of like also how we design AdCreative and how we turn all the different features and tie them together in the end of the day.
Exactly.
To make sure that each feature is optimized on the latest technology that we develop.
Yeah.
It's very cool. A new feature that is in V7 that I think is pretty awesome is the fashion photo shoot, since it's perfect for e-commerce and we have a lot of e-commerce that use AdCreative.
Yeah.
What would you say is the best thing or the most like, if an e-commerce signs up to AdCreative, what can they expect? Like, what's gonna take away the biggest headache for them?
There's a lot of issues of this type of fashion-based e-commerce companies are having. Like one of them, for example, is that usually what they do is that they have the new creation, the new clothing line, and they order it, it arrives to their warehouses ready to be shipped. But for them to ship, they need to make sales, and for them to make sales, they need to put those products on their websites. And the first photo shooting is in 2 weeks, editing is another 2 weeks. So for 1 month, those beautiful like clothes are sitting in a warehouse and not doing any sales. And basically, for some businesses, what they don't want to do is that they still want to keep their models, they still want to keep their processes, which I really appreciate, because I think if you have a big scale at what you do, a user base, a buyer base, you shouldn't change the way that you work that much. But that 1 month, why not using some AI models? Like put those products directly on the website, start selling from the first day that it's in the warehouse. And that by themselves is just opening them at least a month of more sales, which is huge amounts depending on the company size. And that's a big company problem. And if you go to the small businesses, like is a small business, let's say you're some kind of a drop shipper, like everybody's using the same photos. And if you just can get that selected niche, generate an AI model that can resonate with that niche, and then generate some clothing images with that, you just open a lot of doors. And with anybody who is in clothing niche knows that if the photos are good, you're going to sell well, just like in any other e-commerce. But in clothing, it's even more important. And I think people are realizing more and more that if I can resonate with the model, it's more likely to actually have a sale, like have a higher conversion rate. So those are just some of the problems that the fashion photo shoot solves. And honestly speaking, this was one of the most requested feature on AdCreative AI in the last 1 year. But I think what we try to do with AdCreative AI is that we bring features when they are absolutely, let's say, polished, or let's say that they're good enough to be able to actually fit the AdCreative standard in a way. That's why we took our time. We did our own training, own fine-tuning. There's a very unique pipeline compared to the market. And that's why we took our time. But starting from first day of fashion photo shoot, it's going to be better than anything that is on the market is in terms of this type of AI models. So that is super exciting. It took a bit of time. We took our time, but starting from literally with this V7 launch, we're going to be able to serve the fashion businesses at scale. Even if you just have 2 products that you want to, clothe it into an AI model, that's cool. Do you have 10,000? That's also cool, because we have the backend, we have the infrastructure ready to be able to do even those type of renderings.
Yeah, I think it's going to make things a whole lot more efficient, and also especially maybe for small businesses, they will just save a bunch of time and of course money, because fashion photo shoots can be very expensive to execute on, of course.
100%.
Yeah.
And even if you have the budget and everything,
yeah,
like I'm pretty sure that there is going to be some businesses that are going to take our fashion photo shoot AI, generate 10, 20, 30 different AI generated models, understands what type of models perform the best, which images make more sales, and then go record more premium versions of that. And I'm pretty sure that'll happen. So I mean, you can even A/B test with this. There's so much opportunities. Yeah. So I think fashion photo shoot AI is gonna be I think it's a big step, because we are entering to a completely new target audience as well, which in the fashion businesses. And I'm super excited because just like any other e-commerce, they have a big pain point.
Yeah.
And as you can see, like at a big business scale, if you're not making any sales of these new products for a month, that can even worth millions a month. So I think, it's going to make quite a bit of noise. I'm super also confident in the tech behind. We took our time, but we trained it super well. And the outputs are amazing. And we're introducing also I think almost 10,000 AI models that are ready, that you can directly choose the one AI models you like. You can generate your own AI model with your specific, whatever you wanna have in that model. That's done. And on top of that, we are even on the first version introducing our, I think we call it stock clothes. So it's
Really?
almost like stock images. But because what happens that, let's say that you have a beautiful t-shirt you're selling, and from your target audience, they would also always wear that with let's say a dark jean, right? Then how do you do the down? So you could actually go and tell that, hey, up, I want my t-shirt, down, I want a dark jean, and we have that dark jean, hundreds of them. You can select the ones you like, and the model is going to have those clothes. So that's going to be also available on day first, because we want these businesses really to be able to create something that's going to resonate with their audience, and for that the clothing is going to matter. I mean, imagine you have some kind of a streetwear T-shirt, but the down is like a very serious jean. That wouldn't work.
Of course.
So that's going to be also there. So quite a bit of stuff coming with V7.
Yeah, it's super exciting seeing this coming live and also seeing what our user will say about it. And I'm quite sure that for a lot of the fashion businesses that it's probably gonna become more and more of a hybrid situation between real models and AI models. And we're also approaching a day and time where the AI models are becoming so good.
Yeah, 100%.
Which is super cool. Then we also will have the creative utility suite involved in this launch, which is super cool. And I think it's one of the tools in this is of course the background remover AI, which sounds like a very simple feature. I think we've been removing backgrounds for a hot second, but do you want to elaborate a little bit on why this is so good to have within your AdCreative AI?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, I think we have background remover for like last 2 years now. And the reason that we decided to bring this utility suite, which is clearly more than background removal. There's, I think right now, even in the first version, there's like 6 mini AI tools. And the reason we've done that is that a lot of our users said that they have as a core AdCreative AI, they love it, they use it, but they always have to pay some tools on the side, like some of them are going to Runway to make a small edit. Others are going for, in this case, Photo Room to do some background remover. And all these tools are great. But I mean, what we realized that we already have those tags in our core engine. We just never offer them. So we said that, okay, we don't want our users to, I mean, one of the most important thing about AdCreative AI is that it's an all-in-one platform. Regardless of what niche you do, as long as you do advertising or marketing, we are going to be able to literally answer all your asset needs. So that's an all-in-one platform. So that's the moment that we said, okay, wait a sec, why do we let our users go to, kind of force our users to go to another platform and pay another 40, 50 bucks, whatever a month? Hey, let's just include that. That is where the idea is coming from. And we went so extreme that we're not charging Creative Utility Suite anything. Like, you don't pay credits, you don't do anything. As long as you have a professional plus plan on AdCreative AI, it's unlimited. You can remove unlimited amount of backgrounds. You can do unlimited amount of in-painting, out-painting, upscaling, which is some of the models that we have at Creative Utility Suite. So that was the value proposition. We said, okay, we don't want our users to, have 5 other subscription on 5 different websites. AdCreative AI has all those AI models, and it actually has more advanced models than any other platform that they are using and paying 20, 30, 40 bucks. And we were like, okay, let's just make sure that our users never have to pay another tool. And that's where the creative utility is coming. And just to repeat, the core one, as you mentioned, is a background removal AI, which understands what is inside the context of that image, understands what is the product, what you want to actually take out from, and it removes the background of that image. So that's background removal AI. We have Outpaint. Let's say that you have a beautiful stock image of a chef cooking, but you want that image a bit more like almost zoomed out, where you want to see another chef or the rest of the kitchen. You put it understands, when you upload it, understands what happens in there, and then actually draws the rest of it as if it was a bigger picture. So that's called Outpainting AI, Outpainter AI. We have
the face enhancer as well, right?
We have a face enhancer.
And I think this is really cool because, of course, stock images, like the AI generated, the prompted images has been something that's been just like booming lately. And we're all kind of facing the same issues with faces and, those kind of things. And this really solves that issue, which is kind of groundbreaking.
But it's still funny. Like, it's the problem you're trying to solve didn't exist 2 years ago.
No, it's a new issue.
But if
you have a really good prompt and make a very good image, it's kind of annoying when the face of the AI person is not
So to explain the problem is, you generate beautiful stock images, probably happen to a lot of people, generate a beautiful stock image, but the faces are looking super bad because AI models are having a very hard time drawing these faces, and they always look super weird. And what we've done is that the pipeline, the AI model that we built, first goes and identifies object detection way, identifies the faces, And then another AI model goes in there and redraws that part with more attention to detail, which means the faces are going super cool. So, I mean, an example also would be you have some kind of photo in the past with your family, but it was a bit moving the camera, so the faces weren't clear. It can do that job as well. Your family is going to slightly be different than your family, but it's going to do the job. It's going to look more clear. But the real problem is in this AI generated image, it's going to redraw the faces, which is going to be beautiful. So that's the face enhancer. We have something called upscaler. That's a great example for the family photo. You have some kind of stock image or your family photo that's pixel that is like, I don't know, like let's say 600 to 600 pixels, but you want to use it as a stock image, as a background or an ad creative where you need a 4K image. It actually upscales that image and then starts redrawing all the empty pixels because it understands the context, and you have at the end a 4K upscaled image. These are just some of the examples. More features are coming. One of them is text to speech. You want to generate a voiceover for any video or any project that you have. Go write your text. Our AI model is AI narrator is gonna narrate that and gonna give you an MP3 file that you can use it on another project. And this is just the beginning. Like I think even like by the end of October, we are going to have over 15 different AI models in there. And this way, whatever you need to do, you never have to leave AdCreative AI. And we wanted this feature to be basically available, and we are not even monetizing it. The goal is really to show that we have all these core AI models at AdCreative AI, and we want to take care of our users in a way.
Yeah, I mean, the more features we build and create as we go to make the tool, of course, better, but also just simplifies the process of generating something that's really good, the better it is for our users as well, of course. So it also makes the user experience a whole lot better, which is super cool. So I think this feature, since it's also free for everyone to use, is something that's now with the new version is something that people should really check out.
So those are the three features, but I think one thing we're gonna do that is on with V7 that is probably even more important than all those new AI models, new features, etc. I think that's gonna be the customer success part, because we are making some changes. So maybe you can tell more about that, because it has been your project for a long time. You worked on it. And I mean, AdCreative AI is upcoming months and years. We're going to be really focusing on this customer success. So what about that part? What's going to be that part of the V7?
Yeah, and also that's how we divide things here. Tufan is on product and I'm on customer success. No, I think it's pretty awesome. And I mean, we're also like a fairly new company, so we learn as we go, of course, with our customer as every other company on earth. And I think what's super cool in this phase that we're in right now is that we scaled the support team a lot. So we have this amazing response rate. So we will answer people within 30 seconds or even less most of the time. We have our support open 7 days a week to make sure that if you have any sort of inquiry or you need help with really whatever, that we're there and that we can address those issues very quickly. And I think it's super important to have that in this time and day to meet the demand. And especially we have a lot of people using our service. So of course, with more users, also more processes are in need. So those are a few things that we've done, and we're also working a little bit of a hint, so to say, but there's more things coming in September that we're going to launch in terms of that experience as well. So we're really, really putting in the heavy lifting right now to really make sure that the whole user experience, both from the applications that we talk about to the user friendliness and how you navigate within the app to how you interact with the support team, that it is as seamless and that we basically deliver the best support and that we can in the end of the day.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that I can add there is that I think any company that goes from 5 signups, 10 signups a day to hundreds or even like thousands of signups a day, it's a challenge. I think it's a challenge for any company to have an extremely high growth and extremely good customer support / experience. But I think we've learned quite a bit, and also having you and building those processes. I mean, what we more and more realize that, okay, AdCreative hands down is becoming like the most advanced AI tool on the market, but I mean, the more you think about it, it's just the 50% of the work. The other 50% is all the experience that they have. Because, I mean, even when you talk about great companies that you have great experiences or whatever that is, let's say Apple, 50% is the product, and the other 50% is that when, I don't know, your screen is broken, you know what I mean? You give it back, you pay, I don't know, $100, and you get a completely new phone where, you know, you don't mind anymore. Or anywhere else, any other brand that I've ever had as a phone or a computer or whatever, you had to buy the whole thing, and that's a very bad experience. And that actually shows you that, you know, product is great. Clearly, it's the first 50% of your job, which you gotta kill it. But sooner or later, if you want to be at 100% of what you're building, the customer success or the customer experience is important. That's why I'm super excited all the things that we're going to build. And the fact that V7 is going to be the version that we're really going to double down on there.
Yes. It's in the end of the day, it's our main focus. We're nothing without the people using our platform.
That's
we can develop all these cool features and all these cool AI tools and, you know, name them cool stuff.
Yeah.
But if we don't make a good experience out of it, it's
which is,
only
by the way,
so far.
By the way, it's super funny. We have AI in every part of the website, and the only web part that we're actually avoiding putting AI is the customer success or support part, because that's where we want to give the human experience. Like, there's so many AI models already, and absolutely whenever it is needed, we are going to use the help of it. But as of today, it's funny that in an AI company, we're trying to avoid that part, so to give people really the human experience.
Yeah, we're trying to stay human here.
As much as we can.
As much as we can.
Yeah.
That was everything for today's episode. I think we covered a lot of grounds.
We did, and I think it's the longest episode we have, probably.
It probably is.
Yeah.
You're going to have to ask a good friend behind the camera if it is.
To make it shorter.
Well, thank you so much for listening. And
Thanks,
don't
everyone.
forget that you have a 7-day free trial, including 10 credits if you want to check out AdCreative AI. And we see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Ciao.